Greetings! Very happy New Year to everyone. Welcome to our show, Ghosts R N.E.A.R, where we discuss various aspects of the paranormal and paranormal research. I am your host, Keith Johnson, the co-founder of New England Anomalies Research. And I also have my co-host, Sandra Johnson, being screened in. Hello, Sandra.
Hey, y'all. Live from the kitchen table. Johnson Wood.
Well, as I just said, this is our very first show of the new year 2013, and we're very excited about it. And we're starting off with a very special guest, a good friend of ours who you've seen before and are very familiar with, Shannon Sylvia. Now, Shannon has recently co-authored a book called Paranormal Unwrapped, and we're going to be talking about that. She has co-authored it with demonologist Katie Boyd, a good friend of ours as well. So, that's what we're going to discuss this evening. Tell us about the book.
Hi, Keith.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Shannon. How you doing? Good to see
How do
you.
we have you on the show now?
I should just be a regular host every week with you guys.
Yes, yes.
I'm doing well. It's thank you for having me here, of course. It's a little strange that I'm not in Rhode Island with you guys tonight, but this will do.
Well,
My virtual friends tonight.
well, to the magic of screening in.
Yes.
It is amazing technology. I mean, who would have thought 20 or 30, 40 years ago or growing up when we were kids that we were able to do this someday, huh?
That's right. Well, I thought we were going to be going to Mars when I was an adult, but I guess maybe in my mind that's about it.
That's what we were told.
Yes.
Shuttles
Space shuttles to the moon, going to Mars, but anyway, Shannon, you've written a book. It's just been published, just been released,
Yeah.
and I'd like to know all about it. We're really excited to know everything about it.
Thank you, Keith. I'm excited that the book finally came out. Katie and I wrote the book and finished it in August of 2011, hoping that it would be out by the fall of 2012. It was just released on December 28th of 2012, and finally the book is here. It was released by Schiffer Publishing. This is our book here, Paranormal Unwrapped.
Very
and
nice.
The book basically a little bit of a step above any kind of 101 ghost hunting book. It brings you more into more of a darker, uglier side of ghost hunting. You know, we delve a little bit into pros, but cons too. The cons of ghost hunting a certain way, or the cons of ghost hunting with a certain person. We go into conditions, etiquette, so many different layers and aspects of ghost hunting that other authors haven't quite touched down on. We skimp a little bit more on our personal stories and other ghost hunting stories and just get right down to the meat and potatoes when it comes to ghost hunting.
Let's go over your background a little bit. Of course, your background differs somewhat from Katie's. Katie
Yeah.
concentrates on the, of course, demonology. She is a demonologist.
Right.
So let's just fill our audience in on where you're coming from as far as the book goes, Shannon.
Well, I've always been honest and upfront as far as where I come from. I grew up in a haunted house here in Leominster, Massachusetts, where I am right now to this very day. I am in the very living room that was seen on Paranormal State's, of course, Paranormal State, which both of you are very familiar with. You were there that night. And, you know, I grew up on a haunted house. I moved out of there when I was 21 years old into this place that I'm in now. I've been living here for almost 17 years. And this place is extremely haunted. This entire building is very haunted. In fact, Keith, you know, sometime when we're on a layover, I'll entertain you with more stories about the new tenants and what's going on with them.
Oh, good.
Yeah, stories people haven't heard yet. But of course, I have to railroad them the second they're walking in the door as to whether or not they're experiencing any paranormal activity. And I gotta, but you know, I've been living in a haunted home my whole life. I haven't ever lived in one that wasn't haunted. So, just of course, with the circumstances that surrounded me growing up in a very, very Catholic household, surrounded by a lot of Catholic priests that were trying to deal with our haunted home with a lot of blessings and very little counseling or advice as to what was really going on. Just everything was swept under the carpet and the house was blessed. You know, now that we have social media networking sites, I had a huge, huge awakening or epiphany, if you'll call it that, as far as wanting to know everything I can about what might have happened to me and what that was haunting my house. So I fell in love with the paranormal at a very early age. Joined New England Paranormal. Yes, I had to think about that. It's been so long. I joined a TAPS team back in 2005 when they came to investigate my home a couple times. And that was Mike Dion, a friend of yours, of course. And they came here, yeah. And they came here several times. It was a good case for the trainees because it was very easy to get EVPs from here. And the rest is history, you know. It just, one thing led to another. I by no means have ever called myself an expert in anything. I may be well-rounded and maybe knowledgeable, but a lot of people are in this field. I do not study the occult or demonology just by choice. There's no reason. When you kind of grow up with the dark side hovering over your bed every night, you don't really care to know much more than that later on in life. So it is what it is. I'm just, I'm still ghost hunting. I'm part of two teams. David Manch's team out of New Hampshire, Earthbound Phantoms.
Oh, yeah, good friend David, yes.
Yeah, of course. And I trained him. It's just weird because I learned so much from him now. But I think about our first case where I actually had to train him, according to Mike Dion. So, God, time has flown. And I also have another team here called GPS, which is Global Paranormal Society, which I founded once I was with Ghost Hunters International. So we actually have a West Coast team, which is founded by Nancy Bowman, and there's about 8 or 9 members on that team of GPS. So we have West Coast GPS and East Coast GPS. And that's it. I mean, the rest is history. Katie asked me to write a book with her, which I was floored and very curious because you guys are pros. You've written so many books, and I never thought I'd write a book. I never really thought anyone would care to hear what I have to say, but it was wonderful writing with her.
With your history, you thought nobody would care what you have to say, that you've grown up in haunted houses all your life? And makes good dinner conversation.
Well, I got to
originally become involved with Katie. How did that come about?
Katie and I met back in, I think, 2009. I had just finished with Ghost Hunters International, and Keith and Sandra, you recommended I consult with her on a case out in Maine. And the case was extremely interesting. I won't get into too many details because of privacy, but watching Katie's experiments with trying to debunk the case, which she successfully did, amazed me. I had never seen that before. And Becca's psychic ability has by far blown me away. There's only been about 3 people I've come across in my entire life as far as people who claim they're psychic mediums that have actually really blown me away. And I have a lot of psychic friends, but Becca Boyd is an extremely, extremely talented girl as far as her talents are concerned. And Katie and I and Becca have become very, very good friends, just offline and online, especially in the paranormal world. And Katie asked me to write the book back in 2011. It was just a phone call to my cell phone saying, hey, what would you think about co-writing a book with me? And I was like, no way, like, really? I've never written a book before. And it was very easy working with her because she's done it before. And I would write on a certain subject. She may or may not write on a certain subject. I would write a whole chapter. In my book, I cover the entire Mothman chapter, or the Chupacabra, and Katie would cover another chapter. And we would just completely mesh our writings together, and then, of course, off to Schiffer Publishing for editing. It was extremely easy. And we are going to work on a second book together, which has already been done. I have no interest in writing a book without her because she took 50% of the work off my hands. Mm-hmm. So it's just been an amazing friendship, and I can't, I cherish the very few that I can count on one hand that I have in this paranormal world, including you guys, of course, where we can actually get along professionally and as well hanging out as friends. So she's one of them.
Fantastic. Could you tell us about the title, Paranormal Unwrapped? How did the title come about? Who came up with that?
Katie came up with the name Paranormal Unwrapped, and I just designed the book cover. Katie, yeah, she just basically came up with a theme for the book. She had already thought this whole thing out before approaching me with the idea. It came very easily to me because I got to write about things that I know about setting up a team, managing a team, letting a member go, hiring a member, picking a case, what to do if you're on a case and something goes wrong. For instance, I throw an example in there. I did a case years ago, and the client was intoxicated. What do? You know, do you just pack your bags up and go, or do you finish the case? We get into things like that where a lot of other paranormal ghost hunting books didn't get into. So we're basically unwrapping the whole genre of paranormal and ghost hunting.
Ah, I see.
Did you call the book, and did Katie approach you to write a how-to for paranormal investigators? Keith and I haven't had the privilege of reading the book. We don't have a copy, so...
It's on the way.
What is the basic premise? Is it a how-to, basically?
It's a little bit more than that. I'm actually going to go into my chapter. All right, so part one is the making of a ghost hunter, where we do cover certification and titles. You know, of course, like I said, there's a little drama in the book, so we talk about certifications and titles. We'll just leave it at that. The second chapter is forming a solid team. Then we cover the ins and outs of equipment. You know, what kind of budget do you have for equipment? We recommend equipment for small budgets. We start going into advanced equipment. We go into even trademarks and copyrights when it comes to your ghost hunting team's name, your website, your Facebook page, your team's name, your memorabilia, everything that comes along with it. Katie covers the demonology chapter of demonology and the paranormal, and I covered the chapter about paranormal television shows and movie influences. Of course, I have experience being on 2 different television shows, so I go into the ins and outs of being involved. Is it all cracked up to be? Maybe. You have to buy the book to find out. And the second part of the book covers aliens, believe it or not, visitations. I get into a couple personal experiences. And part 3 is supernatural creatures such as Bigfoot and Mothman, the Jersey Devil, and Chupacabra. There was so much that we could write about that the reason why the publisher kept it 128 pages is because they want a second book out of us. So there's going to be a second version, which of course will cover more advanced ghost hunting techniques, more advanced things in the paranormal, and maybe more advanced occult writings. It's just really kind of a very good mix, a little melting pot of all the different subjects out there.
Well, that's right. Paranormal, by definition, actually means anything that's out of the realm of the normal, so that covers a large ground. So it's kind of like an endless topic you could discuss. So
it is, and we wanted to cater this book to not just ghost hunters, but everybody. Maybe people are curious about ghost hunting. Maybe people don't have a curiosity at all, but they just want to learn more about some of the other chapters, or they know somebody that's a ghost hunter. It's not a book just for ghost hunters.
Right, and of course, a lot of people, their only exposure is the media, is TV and movies, so this will give it a more personal touch, you know, from your personal experience and Katie's personal experiences as well.
Yeah, and I gotta say that it's the first book of its kind. We actually include in the back of the book a client questionnaire. So we go into, you can actually take this out and photocopy it into your own questionnaire recommended for paranormal teams. So when teams are going to take new cases, these are all the correct questions and answers that you should be getting and asking. You know, it's even a form for, you know, a blank form for notes and stuff like that. A lot of teams, when they set up cases, just go on one phone call or an email from a client. And they're not taking the proper steps to doing things and documenting things. I was always trained to not only get the client to fill out the questionnaire and return it to us, but also once we get to the client's house, we set up video cameras and ask them the same exact questions all over again, and see what kind of answers we get back and see if they mesh up. So, you know, we go into that in the book as the proper way to do things.
Great. Fantastic. Well, at this time, we're going to take a very brief break, and we will be right back with more of Shannon Sylvia and Paranormal Unwrapped.
We'd like to announce that currently out in the hall,
hi out there in cable access land. You are watching Ghosts R N.E.A.R with critically acclaimed Keith Johnson and Sandra. One of the best cable access shows to date out there. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Paranormal truth, not paranormal garbage.
Hello? I'm just like sitting here playing with my phone.
I concur.
Yes, I concur because I was playing with my phone and distracted. And they're here and we're not just commenting and we're having a great time. And what? Sandra, we came here just to meet you because I have a special incantation I've concocted for you. Are you ready? Oh, I'm ready. Who knows? I've been working on this.
Feverishly.
I'm not going to look like him afterwards. Well, I can't make any guarantees, but I highly doubt it. Okay. Okay. All right. A tingle down your spine fills you with fear because you're watching Ghosts Are Near. That was good. I like that. That's it. That was good. I worked on that for like a week.
Ray the Wallabies here. It's nice to meet you here.
Yeah, talking to Ghosts R N.E.A.R.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Wonderful Captain America.
Yeah, I'm full size. God bless you guys. You take care.
God bless you too.
Whoa! Thank you!
Hello everybody out there to Ghosts R N.E.A.R. Great show, you gotta watch.
Thank you very much.
Ghosts R N.E.A.R. We're feasting, you know clowns do taste funny.
I don't know.
You are watching Ghosts R N.E.A.R.
Hey, this is James from Sci-Fi Journal, and
This is Mark from Sci-Fi Journal, and I want you to watch Ghosts R N.E.A.R.
You guys have a wonderful show as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm here with Arlene Nicholson and Tom D'Agostino. How are you guys doing?
good.
And having a very lucrative weekend here?
It's been a lot of fun, meeting a lot of great people, getting a lot of contacts and a lot of people talking about different things, and we've met a lot of good places.
Excellent. Anything you might write about in future books?
Oh yeah. Maybe I'll put a magic
Oh,
I
my
think
goodness.
that's a fabulous idea.
I made the mistake of telling him my Magic Man story. Now it might appear in print. Be very careful what you tell Tom D'Agostino.
It will hunt up friendship.
Yes, it will. Thank you guys very much. Great to see you here this weekend.
Just kidding. Here with Sandra and of course Keith. Love you guys dearly, and it's always a pleasure having the table next to you. And it's always a pleasure having Shannon Sylvia on Ghosts R N.E.A.R.
We are back with Shannon Sylvia discussing Paranormal Unwrapped. Sandra, do you have any questions in mind for Shannon about book 2 that's coming out?
Two. We're already talking about book 2.
Yeah, I thought we might as well get into that because another book is on its way, right, Shannon?
Well, it's in the making, so I really can't say a whole lot about it right now. But yeah, like I said earlier, you know, the first book was just so much fun to make and to write. Katie and I actually went to an undisclosed location in Washington, New Hampshire, in a cabin in the woods to write most of this book together over coffee.
No phones, no lights, no motor cars.
What was that again?
I said no phones, no lights, no motor cars. Just really roughing it to get your focus. Was that the reasoning?
It was very much so like the movie Misery.
Wow.
Sitting there with our
That's
keyboards.
Well, did you experience anything unusual while writing the book? Anything paranormal?
No, not that I can think of. Just the fact that I procrastinated so much until the 11th hour writing this book, and I got it done. That was pretty paranormal as it is. It was the hardest month of my life. The deadline was August 31st, and I had to relocate my bakery. I was already building out in one building, and we had to squash those plans, find another location, build a bakery, and relocate my website design business into the bakery, all in a matter of about 30 days. And I had to write a book, and I was recovering from a major shoulder surgery, so.
Oh, yeah.
And it was hot. It was hot in August of 2011. I mean, we were like 105, 106 degrees. So it was a lot of work. You know, I had a year to do it, and I really, really waited to the last minute, which was completely my fault. I'm not blaming anybody but myself.
Some people work better that way, though.
You know what?
You have to just cloister yourself like that. I know that's how Al Tias wrote his book. Remember that, Keith?
Yes, yes.
Pretty much.
Really, he became a hermit. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Get away from the computer, except to, you know, shut up all your other programs, whatever.
I got to say, in college, when I attended speech class in college, it was an elective. I was a little bit of a party animal, so I was out on Thursday nights. Well, I had to give a speech on Friday. I would sit there in the class and watch everybody else's speech while I was writing mine. And then I would get up in front of the class and give my speech on any given topic, and I always got a 4.0. I nailed it every time.
Well, good for you. And we'd like to say hi to Jeff, too, because what was Jeff's part in writing this book? I mean, he had to be a source of encouragement and put up with, you know, the time that you were away.
Baking the cupcakes and whatnot.
Yeah, Jeff just gave me a lot of alone time while he spent time in the studio working on on Para Rock TV. To oftentimes just really go in the bedroom and shut the door, put headphones on and just type until 10, 11 o'clock at night. But he was thrilled. He wanted to read a lot of my stuff, and I said, no, gotta wait for the book. So, but he didn't really partake in any of the writing or advice or anything to do with it. The book's really all about me and Katie and in the field. But he got a thank you in the acknowledgments.
Well, that's good. That's good. Excellent. In our last remaining minutes, what did you enjoy most about writing the book, and what did you least enjoy?
What I enjoyed most about writing the book was getting off my chest some things that I just can't say on a radio show or an interview. A lot of people, I'm not you guys included, but a lot of people ask me a lot about GHI, you know, or how I got into the field. But you know, I got to write on the subject of me growing up in Catholic school, in the haunted house, what my family did about the problem, how trapped I felt dealing as a child, being tormented by something I couldn't see, but I could hear it, and not being able to go to my parents and talk about it because we didn't talk about it. We just didn't. And, you know, I kind of got some things off my chest about that. I talked a little bit about the two personal experiences I had with UFO activity, if you'll call it that, growing up. Yeah, they were just, it was kind of just my soapbox for a little bit. Finally talking about things that I know, and it was enlightening being able to write on things that I've learned throughout the years, you know, about equipment and about etiquette and about working with others and the ins and outs of television. I just kind of felt like I was a little bit well-rounded on the subject, so I felt kind of proud.
Great. Well, we're proud of you, Shannon. We really are.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
we're very much looking forward to having you back on when book 2 comes out, of course.
We're very
I'd like that.
We're very
I would like that.
Oh, we're actually reading the book, too.
Yeah, and I apologize for that. I do have to say, for the sake of the viewers here, that my publishing company is dropping the ball and sending you guys a copy. I did get on them today about that, and I haven't heard back, but I'm sorry. I just, this is the only copy I have, and this is mine. Nobody's getting it.
First time this has happened.
I know.
Gives you
I apologize. I apologize, but yeah, it should be on the way, and yeah, I'll have more information, I'm sure, about book number 2. There is an idea that I've approached Katie about a year ago for something of a book that I'm sure Schiffer would never publish, so it's going to be so crazy and completely true, and something no one's ever done before. It's I can't say much more than that, but she's agreed to do it. I've really got to push her for this because it's something that could be made into a movie, and I just really hope that it comes to fruition at some point.
Well, now you're keeping us in suspense.
I know. I've approached a couple friends of mine with this idea, and they said I'm absolutely out of my mind. But you know what? You don't know until you try. You've got to take risks in life, and I think it would do very well. But as soon as I can, I'll give you some more information.
Hold on to your hats.
Hey, it's Shannon Sylvia. What do you expect?
Well, Shannon, next time we're very much hoping that Katie can join us as well, and
we would love to have her on the show sometime. She hasn't made it to the Ghosts R N.E.A.R studio yet.
Well, are you listening, Katie? We're going to have you on, and we want you all to join us. Hopefully, Becca too. And
I will definitely relay the message for her.
Great.
And I have to ask you guys now: is this new format with your splitting and your different areas? Is this going to be permanent for you guys?
It's kind of going to be like I guess every few episodes we might do this format.
I like it.
When we're not in the studio, I like it too.
Right. When we're not in the studio, we're going to either be on location or using this format, and we kind of like it because it's like very much like being at home, and I really feel like I'm on Masterpiece Theater here, you know, which is da 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 da, you know. But Shannon, thank you so much for joining us. You've been a dear as always, and we love having you on and the opportunity to speak with you and to get together with you.
And you and Katie with that book.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's actually selling well, I've got to say. So
it's selling like cupcakes, right? It's selling like shancakes.
I want my check, that's all.
Is it selling like shancakes?
Yeah, selling like shancakes.
I don't know. I keep track of the ratings on Amazon, and it looks like it's selling pretty damn good.
Great.
But it got a 5-star review, so I don't know. Let's see where we can take it, I guess.
Well,
but thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure, guys.
It's
I love
always
you dearly.
our pleasure, Shannon. Always. And
our love goes out to you and Jeff. And the puppy.
And, there's the puppy. Oh, how cute. Well, I've very much enjoyed interviewing Shannon and having Sandra on as well. And thank you, everybody. And until next time, stay safe. Happy New Year. God bless.